All right, it is the time we've been waiting for here, folks. We got some live music lined up for you. If you guys would introduce yourselves and let everybody know who you are and what you're doing in Michigan here. Thanks for coming out.
Hello, my name's Dan Crisp, and I'm the singer with Martin Barre.
Hello, I'm Martin Barre, and I'm the guitarist with Dan Crisp.
Fantastic. Now, how long have you gentlemen known each other for?
We just met outside.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
got good chemistry
Yeah.
so far.
I'm trying to make a bit of money in the street and haven't done so well. And then Dan felt sorry for me and said, hey, why don't we try and become rock and roll stars?
Figured you'd pair
Let's
up
go
with
in
this
the
good looking
radio and do a
gentleman.
live show, and then we might become famous.
Well, that's the hope.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes, everybody's hope. But me and Dan have known each other for 10 years.
At least.
And yeah, we've played various things together. We started off playing some of Dan's music and doing some local shows. Dan's a very, very good songwriter, and I was listening to his album last night.
Fantastic.
And it's I was pleasantly surprised how great it sounds and fresh. But yeah, so we've known each other. We live close by in the UK, and we've been working together for 4 years, three. The years sort of slipped by.
Yeah,
How
it's
many
at
years
least
is it?
it might even be 5 at this point.
Really?
5 years on this. Yeah.
Martin Barre Band's been going 5 years. Amazing.
Awesome. Now, is this your guys' first time as the Martin Barre Band in this area in the Southwest
Yeah.
Michigan?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
played Auburn Hills, didn't we?
Yeah. We've been sort of passing through before, but
Yeah,
this
we
is
played Auburn Hills, but this is our first time in in the holiday resort of Benton Harbour.
So you're enjoying your
Exotic.
stay so far.
We're thinking of buying a house on the lake.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, and living
Save a
here.
spot for me.
Yeah. We set up the radio station in the backyard. Get rid of this one and
Let's build a new one.
yeah.
All right, I like
Yeah,
your style.
good.
You're a real go-getter. I like you already.
Think big.
So you guys are going to be here to play a couple songs for us, which is absolutely great. I love that, and we actually have had a couple bands in this past week. We try to do that in the morning, get some bands in here to play a little music for us. So usually that's about 7 o'clock in the morning, so I'm a little bit more awake right now. I got a little coffee
Yeah.
in me, so I can fully appreciate this. So thank you guys. How many people are in the band as a full? Is it you two, or is there a couple other guys? Could you talk about that a little bit?
we have a drummer called Dave, and at the moment, and we have Alan Thompson on bass, and helping with some singing. So it's quite a powerful 4-piece.
Yeah.
At the moment.
The drummer's from Milwaukee, Dave Shepke.
Okay.
But me and Dan do a lot with 2 electric guitars. So I mean, particularly with the Toll stuff, we cover all the flute parts and keyboard parts, and so nothing's missing. In actual fact, because the guitar's a more powerful instrument than a synth, and excuse me saying it, than the flute.
Dun, dun, dun.
Da, 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 da. It actually sounds really cool. It's good. You know, it's a big band, even though there's only 4 of us. It's a big
sound.
big sound. I was going to say noise,
Yeah.
but sound is a much nicer word.
Now, what about your wife, Julie? She's running around. I think she's over there.
Yes.
She's awesome. Is she an unofficial member of the band, keeping you guys out of trouble? And keeping you
No,
guys in
she's
line?
not. No, she's not. Julie, well, I mean, we sort of run the admin of the band back in the UK, but Julie's on the road, and she works really hard. I mean, she does as much work as any, and there's Julie and Sam Walsh, our sound engineer, who's been with us for 5 years, and we just do everything together, and it's just a great unit. You know, we have days off, and we still do stuff together. You know, it's a great band. It's sort of old-fashioned, traditional, where bands lived and worked and did everything together. It's quite refreshing.
Fantastic. How many? You mentioned you guys are going to play a couple songs this morning. Are these
Yeah.
new songs? Are they songs off a previous album? What are we looking at here?
I don't know. We haven't decided what to play yet.
yeah.
We'll start off with something really old.
Excellent.
Because you got those old tape machines there, we'll get into the nostalgia. Yeah, we'll do a Toll track called Teacher, and then don't know.
And then who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, then we'll do something else.
We'll find out together.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I like going on the fly.
absolutely. Yeah,
Always.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if we could get a song here, I'm really excited to hear you guys, and
Yeah.
we can dive back into some more questions and
Yeah.
chat here in a bit.
You got enough of? You got enough of both of us?
Yeah.
Well, the dawn was coming, heard him ringing on my bell. He said, my name's a teacher. Oh, that is what I call myself. And I have a lesson, oh, that I must impart to you. Oh, it's an old expression, but I must insist it's true. Jump up, look around, and find yourself some fun. No sense in sitting there hating everyone. No man's an island and his castle isn't home. The nest is full of nothing when the bird is flown. So I took a journey and threw my world into the sea. And with me went the teacher who found fun instead of me. Hey man, what's the plan? What was that you said? Suntan, drinking and lying there in bed. I try to socialize, but I can't seem to find what I've been looking for. Got something on my mind.
Fantastic, gentlemen. That sounded awesome. That's awesome. I love how we're getting this going right here in studio here. This is a lot of fun. If I could pick your guys' brain a little bit, and I'll kind of just go back and forth here. I always want to know when I'm talking to people who play music. I'm not musically inclined. I listen to it all the time, but playing instruments just wasn't my dig. What do you guys listen to growing up? What was on your what were you playing on vinyl? What were you listening to on the radio as you were growing up and kind of getting into music?
Yeah. Mine will take longer because I'm probably twice as old as Dan.
Dan, you start.
Classic rock, I suppose. Just I know that's the broadest brushstroke ever, but yeah, a lot of rock music, a lot of my dad's old records and stuff. So I don't know, everything from Dire Straits through to Thin Lizzy. A lot of Thin Lizzy, I must say. I recognize that now. It's like that sounds a bit like Thin Lizzy. Yeah. I probably listen to a lot of that sort of thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's on your iPod today? What do you got in the CD player in your car? What do you listen to now?
A fever dream of everything. A lot of actually progressive dance music and film soundtracks and stuff that we don't do every night. If I'm honest, with like the stuff I listen to after the show or before the show is really what we do, because it's just like to change your perception of music and try to listen to something different. I find it's more relaxing to listen to something that I'm not about to do or I've just done.
Absolutely.
So a lot of film soundtracks find their way on there.
Very
a lot
cool.
of that because it's very different to what we do, and so it's a change of pace after a show.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Martin, what's something you listened to now recently that you thought, man, this is great? Something maybe that's a little bit newer that you just really dig.
This is great coffee, by the way.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll give you my potted history. I mean, I started in the mid-'60s, so we were sort of hungry for Eddie Cochran, Buddy Holly, Elvis, Gene Vincent, Little Richard, just hungry for American music because music in England was just sort of pop. Nothing really, there's no substance to it, and there was no information to be a guitar player from the music that you could hear. And from then, being in bands, you just had to play whatever got you a living. So it was rock and roll. Then we went through soul music, R&B, Tamla, Motown, and eventually the blues. So over a period of probably 5 years, went through all those transitions as music became popular in one genre, and then something else took it over. But the great thing was that you had such a background of all these different styles, and I love the Impressions, and I love Marvin Gaye and Benny King. All those great artists are still up there in my mind, and so that the benchmark's high for me now. And I try and listen to everything, and I hear an odd song occasionally here and there that I think's really cool, and you're going to ask me which one. What's that one I put on with the mandolin?
Crossroads.
No, the one that I added to Sam's playlist. The guy from Soundgarden.
Oh God, Chris Cornell.
Chris Cornell.
First track from his
and I bought his album, but what a great, I can't even remember the name of the song. I'm not very good at this, but it's just I just heard something that was really great, and it's rare. I think nowadays most of what you hear, you go, yeah, I've heard that before, and before that it's all regenerated. But something to be really original, and Dan's music's like that. It's not like anybody else's. It's got its own character, its own personality, and that's what makes me listen.
Well, Chris Cornell's certainly a guy, you hear his voice, even if you don't know his name, but you know the voice. And I know a lot of people, oh my gosh, when he passed, a lot of people said, I didn't know who that was, but I knew that voice just hearing it on the news.
Yeah.
And, it's people will forever know that voice.
Yeah.
Very unique.
Yeah.
Well, I know Fats Domino late Tuesday night had passed. What you guys, were mentioning some artists from that era. What are your thoughts on that? Were you a Fats Domino fan growing up, or did you ever get into that?
Yeah, I mean, very much so, and that's the sad thing, the where we are now in years, that's going to be more and more. That the people from the 50s and the 60s are starting to leave us.
Yeah.
It just reminds you of how long rock music's been around. The fact that it's this year and next year and the year after there's going to be a whole list of great people who pass away, and but that they've left so much behind, and it'll be there forever. And I mean that is so important. It's so nice, the fact that people will really forever remember them through their music.
Yeah, great thing is though with today, technology these days, you can catalog that music from so far back, and hopefully it will be around forever, because you got save something on MP3, you can have a lifetime's worth of music on a terabyte hard drive and take that with you. So that's certainly a good way to look at it, is that music will be around forever. And the vinyls and things like that are starting to come back in a big way, and you're seeing these things kind of resurface, which is really great.
But when I go, I'm going to dig a massive hole, probably like 1,000-foot cubic, and all my records, tapes, multi-tracks, guitars, amps, cars, plectrums and strings are going to go in the hole with me, so nobody will ever hear of me again.
Just take all your
I'm
stuff
a bit selfish. Yeah.
It's like very Egyptian pharaoh
Yeah.
style burial.
It'll be an inverse pyramid.
If you can't be here to enjoy it, why should anybody else, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you again so much for coming in here. This is awesome. Jackie, did you have anything you wanted to add to this? I'm really excited to hear some more music. I know Jackie's a big fan, and her mom actually had a couple things she had sent over with her to hopefully you guys could grace her with an autograph. So she was very excited for that.
Okay.
What's on your mind, Jackie?
Well, my mother has seen you with Jethro Tull numerous times, probably close to 10. So, Mom's a big fan. But I did want to ask, of all of the music that you played, what is your favorite song out of everything?
It's going to sound strange. I mean, we have to ask Dan, because we're not. We have different tastes and different opinions, and his is really important. I'm going to say I like my music more, and you're going to think, wow, he's got ego on him, that guy. But it's more because I'm proud of it, and I'm proud of Jethro Tull. It's a big legacy, but it was very shared. I didn't really get much of a look in on the songwriting or the lyric writing because Ian Anderson really wanted it all to himself, and why not? Yeah. But for me, when I'm writing a piece of music or writing a song, and I think it works, I mean, they don't always work, and I'm not the one to say this is a great piece of music. This is a song that really is happening. It's the audience, or even Dan has to sing them. Mm-hmm. But if I think something's sort of working, I'm so proud of what I do, and it's such a feeling of accomplishment to actually write and produce a piece of music that's totally mine. And it's nothing to do with ego. It's just, as a musician, that's the ultimate reward.
Yeah, just the artistic freedom behind it.
Yeah. And I think it's the same for Dan, although he must say, but Dan's writing now, and
well, favourite song at the moment has to be a Long John Baldry track called Everything Stops for Tea, which is...
if Alan was here, we could do it.
Yeah, our lovely bassist Alan played with Long John Baldry, who's this bit larger-than-life blues singer from the UK, and he did this silly little song about how much the English enjoy their tea. I love his voice, so I find it and talk to Alan about it. Alan, of course, knows it, and we played it off the cuff one acoustic night, and it went down a bit too well, and now we've never looked back now, and it's probably the favourite song in the set.
Yeah. I have to say it's probably because I play the teacup and saucer in it with a metal spoon. I tend to think it's because of that, but I might be wrong.
You spend all this time learning this complicated prog stuff and try to do all of the lines at the right time. Again, we play a lot of like lead lines together. Again, Thin Lizzy, a lot of that's like come through. I like that when we do all of that, all the complicated stuff. But sometimes just something simple, just a well-written little tune. It's not even that long. That's all you need, and that's all. Yeah, it doesn't have to be crazy.
I think that's why the Beatles are so great, because their songs are just complete, and they always will be, and I don't think anybody will ever tire of hearing those great songs, and but that's an amazing legacy. To if you could write a song that people can hum, and people do hum Beatles songs in everyday life, that must be the ultimate. You write a melody that becomes just somebody's walking along the street and whistling it. That would be pretty amazing.
Through the years of just touring and being out on the road and that, I know a lot of times you'll pass by a musician or maybe share a bill for an event. Did you guys ever have anybody that you got to play with that you were a fan of, and then all of a sudden you guys were sharing the bill somewhere and you guys do a little jam or a little just a little studio work, or maybe even sit in on a set with a different band?
Yeah, I mean, for me more so because with the Martin Barre Band we tend to just play on our own. We've done some festivals. I can't think of anybody on the festivals that I thought was amazing. But I mean, the list of people that Tull played with is just, it's sort of who we didn't play with, and we played with Hendrix, Blood, Sweat and Tears, Zappa, Captain Beefheart, Chicago, Grateful Dead. A huge amount of people, and that was just amazing. I mean, not at the time particularly, because that's what everybody did. But we did a tour, and I tell people about this one. It was in '71, and it was a tour of the whole of the States, and it's 3 bands. Jethro Tull were top of the bill. Bottom of the bill was Joe Cocker and the Grease Band, and middle of the bill was Fleetwood Mac with Peter Green. So the original Fleece, but that was pretty good. I mean, how we were top of the bill was more by default, because Peter Green and Fleetwood Mac were, and Joe Cocker, they're just amazing.
I'd always been a big fan of Fleetwood Mac in the early days when they were a blues band. That's still to this day is some of the most incredible music, and people don't doesn't surface as much. Usually you hear other Fleetwood Mac and that. So.
You know that? Do you know Oh Well? Fleetwood Mac.
I know the song.
Yeah,
off the top of
that's
my head.
cool. Yeah, that's cool. Sorry.
No, that's awesome.
I just happen to know it. Yeah.
Great. Well, I mean, I'm excited to hear another song. If you guys got you, I don't want to keep you here all day, but certainly I would. So whenever we're running low on time, you guys, let me know. But in the meantime, I'd love to hear a couple more songs. And thanks again for coming out. This is great.
Cool.
Let's see if this one. How we did that? Yeah.
Yep.
Close enough.
Jazz. 1, 2, 3, 2.